Greetings, Darklings, from across the interwebs. It is once again I, the Duchess Precious Ken, and we're doing something a little different, a little razzmatazz. Number one, today's episode is brought to you by Helvet, who has sent me this lovely shirt that we will be doing a video interview with them very, very soon, and you'll get to see that. But today we have our wonderful videographer and her dashingly handsome boyfriend, David. The members, two of them, of Katy Needs a Life, her band that has a new video coming out that we are going to premiere for you now. Katy, David, what up?
Hello, Ken. It is I, Katy.
Yeah, you still got to say the thing. You got to say the thing still.
And with us, as always, Zorro.
So, let's show Zorro's cute little face. Hi. Hi, Zorro. Show me your fuzzy little face.
He's looking at David like, stop making fun of me.
Why are you mocking me, sir?
Yeah.
I have a degree from Harvard University. I'm a very important person, and I will not accept this mockery.
My mom was too shy to put her name down for a subscription for Star Magazine, so she put my family dog's name, Muffy. And so Muffy ended up getting accepted to a medical school somehow.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of exciting news to cover in a brief amount of time. We're going to premiere the video. Why don't you briefly start out, just tell us a little bit about how this project came to be for you and what style of music you play in it. Because, I mean, it's not like our standard goth industrial, stuff. I mean, you guys have this beautiful, flowing, dream gaze kind of sound, but it definitely has like a dark edge to it. And I think you guys do that through your lyrics, through kind of a tongue-in-cheek, like gallows humor. And I love how that comes out. So tell me just about this project and how you made it happen.
Okay. So 14 about years ago, I was a really lonely teenager. And I had just moved to this town. I had made a few friends, but they were all older than me and graduated. So I started this little project just so that I could have something to do. Like, my dad was really into recording. He had his own little studio set up in our house. My brother had been doing at-home recordings there too. So I thought maybe I would just start doing it. And I called it Katy Needs a Life because I thought it would be funny. Because it's like, these are the things I do with my spare time. Boy, I could really use a life and stuff. And I reiterate the loneliness. But then I only would play like a show or two a year because it was just me. And then I came to school in Kalamazoo, and it took a long time to get booked here. But finally I got booked at this bar called Louie's. And that night I met David, and sparks were flying because he loved my music so much. So a few years went by. I was playing a lot more regularly and making kind of a name for myself. The music at the time was once described as the most annoying tones and beats put together. But I was still pretty proud of it.
I don't see that. I don't think that's apt in the least bit.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that it was like super wrong.
You got real drums now. Anyway,
yeah.
So, yeah.
In like 2016, I was like throwing in the towel on the project. I'd been investing in it for a long time. And then I heard this band was coming to Louie's again. They were called Bruiser Queen. And they're like the coolest two-piece band ever. And I just wanted to play with them so bad. So I approached the booking agent for that show and was like, hey, what if I did like a reunion type show, but instead of doing like my normal solo thing, I did like a full band. And she was all about it. So the band formed, and over time some members have changed because some people have moved in and out and stuff. But now we're like a sad pop rock band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy, sad pop rock.
We try to just do what feels like. I always write the songs, and a lot of these songs that are coming out on our new album are like recycled songs from a long time ago.
Mhm.
But I feel like they're finally seeing the version of themselves that I always wanted them to be. And it took just the showing the others what the song sounded like as its skeleton, and then allowing them to fill it out with how they felt it needed to be. And it's just been perfect. It's been so great working with people.
And you have some great people that you're working with, like Reggie and of course David. And you mentioned that they were skeletons. I think that's funny because it matches up whenever you do live shows, you do it in a skeleton suit,
Yeah.
which is cool.
I wonder if Phoebe Bridgers saw an old video of me or something. Because that's everybody in the band when that performance, like when it first debuted, that she was wearing all the skeleton stuff, they were like, "Oh my God, Katie, she totally stole your thing," and I'm like, "We can't do it anymore."
No. You keep doing it. She should have to change.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
have to pay some money, but I'm not gonna like force the issue. She's pretty cool.
I mean, it is true. It is true. I mean, and aside from that, if something is cool, like two people can do it.
Yeah.
I was kind of just talking about this with somebody today that, same kind of situation with teasing me about my hats and things like that. And I was like, just because somebody else cool is wearing the same lipstick as you, like you're still cool and they're still cool. Like there's no reason that only one person gets to do it. A good idea is a good idea.
It really is fun to just shake around like I'm only made of bones.
So that's awesome. David, you've done quite a few other musical projects that I know about and I'm aware about. You also are a sound technician and a recording engineer, and you do a lot of the recording for it. Tell me a little bit about how you jumped into this project and what excited you so much about it.
Well, I met Katy and I really liked the music, and I had been in bands like Crash City Saints and Brown Cow around Kalamazoo, and at that point, like people have moved away and stuff like that, so those bands weren't really active anymore. And Katy was thinking about forming a band, and I really wanted to play in it, so yeah.
I mean, David, we've all been in Crash City Saints at one point or another. I mean, anybody who's anybody here in Kalamazoo was at least a member for 2 or 3 shows.
I was part of it for a show. Right?
You played keys on the show, yeah.
See, there you go. All 3 of us have been. Josh Garman, from one mountain, many beautiful rivers may flow.
Yeah.
So coming up for this new album too, I'm really, really excited about it. I've got to hear a lot of it because you were recorded by none other than Amaranth and Sound and Shadow's own Collin Schipper. And yeah, plug that. But no, it really, I think hit kind of the highest evolution to me of everything I've always wanted to hear from your music. I've always really enjoyed it, and I like the energy of it, and I like the fact that it kind of has that, I always say like Pet Shop Boys Rent factor of like, where it just sounds really bright and poppy, and you're bouncing your head, and then you listen to the lyrics and you're like, oh fuck, this is dark. This is seriously fucking dark. Yep. And I feel like you guys always had that. And then I think when you started working with Collin on it, it really captured another layer of it. And it was kind of an anger, a bit of a bite behind it that came out. So like there's these bright, beautiful tones and sounds coming out. And then you're singing lyrics that, are addressing a lot of loneliness and a lot of dark themes. And then on top of that, with this new album, I feel like you added this kind of you attacking that fact rather than being pulled down by that fact. And I could hear that in your voice and the way it rings through. How did this feel different and special for you?
Well, this is the first actual studio recording that we've done. And working with Collin was fantastic. I mean, he kind of took on more of a producer, like production role, and the things that he added to the sound, the way that he mixed everything together, it gave it that edge that it didn't have before. And he's like the guy in the studio that'll stop you and be like, I think that you could do that better. I think that you could do that with more emotion. And it's like, yeah, I think that you're right. And it was everything that I really wanted from a studio experience. And, you know, working on this project for so long, this is kind of the climactic point of just what I wanted from it, to have this full band album. And like, Collin is 100% to blame for why it sounds so good, because I don't think that, I don't know.
Plus, he has such dreamy bedroom eyes. I mean, I get there's not enough things to say nice about Collin. I get you there.
It's his hair, it's his beard, it's the whole package, you know? I mean, like, all of my other recordings I just did at home, in like my apartment. And so there are certain things that I didn't really feel like I could really let loose before, like really scream the vocals or turn things up. Yeah. And we finally got that opportunity outside of a venue or a practice space to just kind of let loose and really try to put it down, like the feelings that we're trying to achieve with this. Mm-hmm. And it was perfect.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I feel a lot of that too. I'm just really excited for this. You also, adding another layer onto this, your mastering for this was done by none other than Jason Corbett of Actors, which is awesome. Like, that is just a really great level and layer to add on top of this. Tell me a little bit about kind of how that felt.
Incredible. He's like a living legend. So
a little bit.
And like, I have to thank you again for connecting us, because I don't have the courage to just reach out to people that I have so much respect for. And like, it took a couple times for me to feel like, okay, this is it. But it seemed like he was really, really understanding of where I was coming from with what I was trying to achieve with the album. And when I got back the final masters, it just like was the icing on the cake. It was the perfect. It was exactly what I had always dreamed of, and then some, you know? Anything to add, honey? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sounded great.
Yeah. I want to get a chance to just kind of let you spool into this song in particular and the video and what you guys did shooting it. Just like we do for other people. Set the stage for this for me, Katy.
All right. This is a kind of long story, but I'm going to try to summarize it fast.
Tell your story.
In 2010, my father passed away, and I came back to school, and I kind of rushed into getting an apartment, and my mom gave me the old furniture that I kind of grew up with. And it immediately just got like shredded and stuff, but it always had little mementos of this life that I had when I was like a kid, when things felt a lot more innocent and a lot more carefree and stuff. And I'd find little reminders all the time, like loose change that obviously wasn't mine because I've never had that. And like old socks. Things like that would just remind me all the time that he was like still there. And then, you know, fast forward many, many years after my best friend's mom passed away, I went down to Austin with her to visit my brother, and he had this incredible metaphor, this analogy for relationships, because my friend was going through kind of a rough time, and my brother made this analogy that it's like, this person that you love is kind of like a torn up couch. And you love the couch, but it has all these exposed springs. So when you're sitting, sometimes you feel very comfortable, and other times you're being poked by a very uncomfortable thing and you're getting hurt.
Yeah.
And you want a new couch so that you can find more comfort but you can't find a new couch until you've gotten rid of your old couch. But there's so many memories around this old couch. And when I got back, I was like, well, that was really good. I can't just let him have that. So I wrote a song that kind of incorporated these two themes together, as if like, because it was like a very observable fact that this furniture that I had grown up with had seen some shit. And I realized that we had kind of grown together, but it was coming to a close and I was going to have to get rid of that furniture. It wouldn't fit in our new apartment, so it had to find a new home. And weird angles, yeah. And like, I moved into a friend's house for a while, moved into a friend's garage for a while. And it was just the other day that we took it out for like bulk garbage day and finally said goodbye to it. But I wrote the song as if it were written from the couch's perspective, about how it's like, I've watched you grow up and now we're gonna take these changes in life, you know, and like, we're not gonna be around each other anymore. So the video, I collected a bunch of candid shots of things, you know, like I didn't tell Reggie and David that I was filming them, I just did. I think that's against the law. I didn't have them sign anything. But then, you know,
just make them sign a waiver afterwards.
Yeah, as long as I get it before this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I wanted the video to be all of these great things because I felt so very proud of the song and stuff. But with COVID being the way that it was and the world being in the state that it is, it had to be kind of dialed back a little bit. So I just took as much like random footage as I could and like put it through video app splicers and then put it all together. And then throughout this entire lockdown, our friend Nate Hartman has been taking this incredible drone footage of like the whole city and stuff. So I reached out to him and told him that I was trying to make a music video and asked if I could use some of his drone footage. And he sent me this sampler that I just kind of like cut up and put into the video and stuff. But it was like the greatest honor to be able to use some of this because he was collecting pieces of history, like pieces of local history from this last year. And I just felt like it made the video a lot more like meaningful, like it made the words a lot more impactful, and it like really showed that it's like all of this is from a place of just caring, you know, like to try to create a human like viewpoint of a breakup from a couch's perspective. It's just like too many.
And Kalamazoo is a lot of our couch. It's, I mean, kind of within the metaphor that you're talking about. I mean, I hear that too. There's something, I can't explain it, but just special about this place.
Yeah.
And for all three of us sitting here, I mean, that's a lot of memory way back, and the concept that you're putting forward, I think, is the same. So that's why I really love that footage of just kind of seeing Kalamazoo through a wide lens, you know, going along with your idea of these memories.
Yeah, and like in those scenes, I really wanted to open it up and stuff, like go from this almost like 35mm look with like square shots to just like this big widescreen like thing of the city and stuff, to like kind of give this feeling of hope and togetherness and stuff before closing out with like more sad shit. But yeah, I mean, like that's pretty much the whole video and like the whole explanation behind it, I think.
I honestly think that's a beautiful and deep concept. And again, I think it's done really well, just like the song where you're touching on something heavy, you know, something that hits it, but you're not making it sound like you're trying to touch on something heavy. And so I think that explanation was perfect, matching up with both the video and the song in the same way, that people are going to get to dive into this as deep as they're ready to, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of layers to come into it on. So I am extremely excited about this. I'm excited about the album coming up. We're going to talk some more about this, but for those of you that have never got a chance to hear, I mean, you hear Katy talk all the time on our videos with this, but never really got a chance to hear Katy Needs a Life, you're in for a treat. This is Katy Needs a Life, Couch.